What's going on, YouTube? How's it going? I figured I would make a fishing video soon, but then I got heat stroke twice last week. So I'm not going outside because it's like 115 degrees in Texas. So I figured I'd make a gear video. Yeah, a gear video. So welcome here. Here's fishing gear with a person who's not very good at fishing video. So what do you need to go fishing? Well, here in Texas you definitely need sunscreen and bug spray. Don't forget a cool hat. I stuff everything else into this day-use hiking bag. It's got a rigid back so you can get it pretty heavy. So let's start next with the setup that I use the most. This is an ultralight Shakespeare Ugly Stick, the Ugly Stick GX2. The reel on here is I believe it's called a Razor RZ. Don't really know what that is. It came with a Lowe's rod in a combo that I bought. I put two pound fluorocarbon on here. I'm not very picky about the brand. I just put whatever on here. Fluorocarbon works the best for me. Most of the time I'm pairing this with a 1/200th ounce trout magnet jig head. So a pretty small hook. I'll also do a lot of very small hooks with no weight at all, so just weightless presentation. I've been able to catch some pretty small fish on this, including Mexican tetra, but mostly I use it just to catch really small sunfish. That ultralight rod and this next rod I use the most. They both live in the back seat of my truck. So this rod is a so-called Bass Pro's Microlight. As you can see, it's a 3-piece rod that comes apart, and that's why it lives in my truck. It's very convenient. So a little time back, I was visiting my in-laws with my wife, and I wanted to go fishing while I was out there, and I didn't have a rod or a reel. So while I was there out in Arizona, I went to a local sporting goods store and found a takedown rod like this, and it was actually really good. I don't know what the model of that one was. This one purports itself to be light action, I believe. Yeah, light action, but it's a little stiff. Not stiff, it's just a little bit not as sensitive. For a light action, I actually use this more like as a bass rod. I think it's more a little bit like a light medium, but it's not quite a light action rod. Anyway, I have it paired with this Flugger reel. Don't know the model, but it's a really nice one. My parents got it for me for Christmas one year. I usually put somewhere between 4 and 8 pound fluorocarbon test on here. What I use this for the most is bass fishing, and I'll do a weightless, just a hook, with a wacky rigged Senko or regular rigged Senko. A lot of the time I'll also use a weightless pink worm, just a big fake worm. I fish a lot in the small creeks around here, so these lighter action rods are really better because most of the fish in a very shallow, knee-deep creek aren't very big anyway, but every once in a while I get some nice ones. So this one is a Lew's rod. This is the one where that reel came from. It's called a Laser RZ Speed Spin. It's I believe it's a medium action. Yeah, it says it's a medium light. It's not bad. I use this a lot when I'm kayak fishing, when I can actually get something pretty big. I like it. I have it fitted up here with the Shimano 4000 FE, which is a pretty good reel as far as I've had experience with. I don't have a ton of equipment, obviously, but I've liked it quite a bit. And then finally I have this rod, which is just it's called a whoopin' stick. I use it sometimes when I just need another rod for catfishing. It's got a pretty cheap Bass Pros, I don't know what do they call it? Call it the Bass Pros Quick Draw reel there. Not the worst, but you know, just for throwing it out there and trying to get something big. But I feel like that's a good place to go towards the end of this video. Not a very hugely informative video, just some cheap gear from a cheap hobbyist. As I said in the beginning of the video, with the light action rod I do a lot of micro fishing. It's finesse in a different way than heavier fishing, but you don't really use as many rigs. So most of the time what I use, I just jig fish or weightless presentation, just a hook at the end of the line. When I'm bank fishing, I just jig or just use a soft plastic, or honestly a bobber with some corn or a worm or whatever. Well, anyway, I hope that covers my gear to some degree, and in the future we can go fishing together when I'm feeling a little better and the weather's not so crazy. Otherwise, like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.